John C. Cannizzaro is a native of Columbus, Ohio. In 2005, he received his Bachelor of Science degree in Computer and Information Sciences, graduating magna cum laude with honors from The Ohio State University. At Capital, he has served on the governing and executive boards of the Student Bar Association, and he was an associate editor of the Capital University Law Review. During his legal education, John has worked as an extern in the Federal District Court and as a law clerk for the law firm of Cannizzaro, Frazier, Bridges, Jaliski, and Strain, for Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, and most recently for the Ohio Attorney General's Office. He has completed a concentration in publicly held companies and small business entities, and will be taking the Ohio bar exam and passing it in July. John is also among a number of our legacy graduates today. His father, John F. Cannizzaro, is a 1980 graduate of the law school. Please welcome John Cannizzaro.
Thank you, Dean. Well, we survived. When you sit back and think about it, these last few years have really been a survival story. Hours and hours of studying, stressing about finals, job searches, Professor Distelhorst's matching problems, legal writing, parking, ABS, and the best law school IT department on Broad Street. We've faced some pretty big challenges over the last few years, and some people didn't make it through, but we survived. Though I could talk about survival for hours, I think the most important part of that sentence isn't the word survived, it's the we. An old saying goes, the first year they scare you to death, the second year they work you to death, and the third year they bore you to death. Well, another saying goes, live together, die alone. And guess what? We lived. None of us made this journey alone. We had the support of family, of friends, of faculty, and of course, of each other. It's these relationships I want to talk about today, because for me at least, they are one of the most significant things I will take away from law school. Of course, we all have relationships coming into law school. For me, these relationships were absolutely vital, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. As my close friends could probably tell you, I'm a pretty religious guy, and I think my relationship with God helped me through a lot of the hard times. I prayed before every single test I took, and always felt like someone was watching my back. And judging by the fact that I'm seated between two clergy members today, I guess that's still true. My relationship with my family has been equally as important. I honestly would not be here, let alone in law school, without the support of my mom and dad. Without my brothers, I wouldn't be as good at arguing as I am. And without my best friend, who was like a sister to me, I probably would have lost my mind a long time ago. I think everyone knew someone coming into law school that they could count on for support. However, very few of those someones knew exactly what we would be up against once we got here. That's why the relationships we built here at Capital are so important. We could all understand what it was like. We all knew what one another were going through, because we were going through it too. We survived together. Years from now, I'm sure I will have forgotten about that difficult question on the torts final. I'm sure I will have forgotten about the legal writing memo I stayed up all night finishing. Hell, I'll probably forget a lot of things I learned. What I won't forget, what we shouldn't forget, are the relationships that we've formed these last few years. Looking back, I know I will always remember that girl who sat next to me on the first day of law school and talked about Italy until class started. I will remember pacing around 242 studying for torts and singing Christmas songs. I will remember helping a new friend look online for some expensive Christmas space. I will remember wondering what the Dynasty was doing in the secret room in the library. I will remember live band karaoke, long conversations in the casual reading area, strolling into Dean DeSantis' office, intramural volleyball, barristers, bash, and attached to these memories are the faces of all the people who helped me through law school, who weren't just with me for the journey, but were part of the journey. Never forget the relationships you've made here at Capital. We've all been through something incredible, and we'll always share that bond. In a few months, I'll be happy to call you all colleagues, I hope. But I'm happier now just knowing that I can call so many of you friends. Thank you for making this one of the best experiences of my life. And no matter where you end up, always remember the relationships you've built along the way. I know I will. Thank you.